Hey guys, I'm Brandy. Welcome to Honest Apron. I've spent years teaching myself to cook, and if there's one thing I've learned, it's that you don't need a chef's hat to make incredible food. This channel is about the process of the wins, the oopses, and the tricks that I've learned along the way. I'd like to bring you in the kitchen today, and we're going to do a roasted chicken that I came up with that I've kind of perfected over the years. It started out one night of me just wanting to have a really good simple dinner that was very wholesome and hearty for the family. So come along with me for the journey today, and I'd like to explain everything to you step by step. So we're gonna start with the onions. That's gonna be the big component of this dish. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those chopped. The onions I always get are sweet onions. It's a great onion to start off with, and it's good to cook with, and it does keep up, and it's very juicy when you cook it. These gloves are a little harder today. They're putting on a good fight. So I got 2 onions. You can get any size you want. I like the big ones. And we're also gonna throw in a couple garlic cloves in there. So we're gonna start with our knife. We're gonna get to dicing. Now, like I said, nothing's gotta be perfect. We're at home. When we're cutting it, we just want to half the onion and then put that half in half, and we're gonna slice it all the way down. I want to leave bigger pieces because when it's in the oven, they are going to shrink. It happens quite often with onions. So our first half done, and we'll start our second half. Now, if you don't like a lot of onions, don't use them. If you like a different vegetable, you can go ahead and try that too. The best thing about coming up with your own ingredients and your recipes is you can put in there what you want. Just as long as it has a good base, your recipe will go a long way. When we're making this chicken, I always use a 13x9 baking dish. So we're gonna go ahead, before I put the onions in there, I'm gonna do a small drizzle of avocado oil. You can use any oil that you have. We're just gonna put a little drizzle in the bottom of the pan. Get a nice coating in there. This is gonna be the vessel for everything. Our chicken's gonna go in here, the onions are gonna go in here, and the garlic's gonna go in there. I wanna have a bed of onions, and I do put some onions on top of it as well. I normally leave it whole, but today we're going to spatchcock it. It saves a little bit of time in the oven, so it doesn't take too long. And then I'm gonna grab some paper towels, and we're gonna blot her dry here. Okay, give that one a good old splot down. Okay, and your backbone on the chicken is gonna run right here. So we're just gonna cut that out. I just give a little snip over here as close as I can. And sometimes I even use a knife for this, but I figured today we're just gonna go ahead and break it down with a pair of kitchen shears. So get yourself a trusty pair of those, and we're just gonna cut all the way down. And don't be scared, just get in there. You can get your hands dirty. You don't have to wear gloves if you don't want to. Just don't want to get my hands too dirty. And then I flip it around, and then I attack it from the other side. Oops. All right, we're almost there. Just be patient. Something you can do, actually, that I think I'm going to, is you can always save your bones. It's good for broth. We are gonna go ahead and flip this around on our cutting board here. We want to, actually, let's start back over here. We're going to make a little slit just in the top where that main bone is, so that way when I flip it around, we can flatten it. You're gonna wanna put all your weight on it, give it a good crack. There we go. I always use an SPG. It's a salt, pepper, garlic blend, and it's perfect for instances like this. Let's give those a nice toss. A little drizzle of olive oil on our chicken. Rub it in, make it happy. We're gonna give it a good shake here. I want it pretty well coated. You want to be able to get the flavors penetrated in there. Another little tip I always do is I put some butter underneath of the skin, and that way it absorbs into it and makes it nice and juicy. Now, you don't have to do that. I know butter is pretty fattening. Fat equals flavor. Don't be scared of it too much. A little bit every now and then isn't a bad thing. Don't forget the top. Okay, we're gonna put that right on top here. See how she fits? All right, you just want to grab some butter, have it out on the counter so that way it gets a little softened. If it's not, you can always put it in the microwave real quick. We're gonna put a little bit underneath the skin here. And grab a good handful. I want you to be able to see what we're doing. You take it and you shove it right up underneath that skin. Just press it down. That way it gets all up in there and where it needs to go. Rub it on there. I'm gonna put a little bit more because it came off when we touched it. All right, now with this beauty, we're gonna go ahead and stick it in the oven. I have my oven already on and warm and preheated. We're sitting at 425. You wanna just go ahead and stick it right in the oven in the middle rack. And we're gonna continue to let that bake until it gets to 165. All right, now we're gonna start with the roasted potatoes. I like to do the smashed roasted potatoes, so you gotta get them in the oven long enough so that way you can smash them all down. So we're gonna do these little potatoes. It's the tri-colored ones. Let's go ahead and spray down our cookie sheet. I have some avocado spray, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Give it a good, there you go. And then we'll pour on some potatoes. And we want to spray the tops of them too. Make sure everything's coated. I also have some Kinder's cowboy butter. This stuff is amazing. I don't know if anybody's tried it yet, but it is great to use. I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit on top because when I smash them down, we're going to re-sprinkle them. So I want to have some outside flavor, and then when we crush them back down, I want to have a little bit more flavor. So this gives them just a little bit of herbiness to bake in. And roll them all around in there. All right, so I wanted to get these in so that way we can get the cooking process started. So let's go ahead and get them in the oven. I just took the potatoes out of the oven so that way we can start the smash process. Just remember, the pan is hot, so don't burn yourself. I always get myself a little bit of wax paper and a cup to help smash. That's just make sure that the cup doesn't get all dirty. So we're gonna move one over, lay it flat, and we're gonna smash. Put a little bit of powder. It shouldn't take too much strength since they were in the oven for a little bit. So we're just gonna keep going on and we're gonna smash away. Those are done. What you wanna do is you're gonna wanna sprinkle on just a little bit more seasoning because remember we didn't season them too much. Now with them smushed and some of the meat and the side of the potatoes needs to be seasoned. So we're just gonna go over those lightly. I love to add some grated Parmesan cheese on top. It's going to get on there and make it all ooey gooey and cheesy, and that cheese will help really well with that. And so we just want to sprinkle just a little bit on. All right, and then just like that, we're going to put her right back in the oven to continue to keep cooking. We want these to roast right up and get all nice and golden brown. You know what they say about golden brown food? It's delicious. Also going to do some carrots. we're going to do a glazed carrot. The best way to do that is you can always roast them in your oven, but because my oven space is all taken up, what we're going to do is we're going to put it in the air fryer. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of these diced up. These are just organic carrots. I like to keep them pretty much as whole as possible. There is no need to grate or peel the carrots either. Everything's going to be just fine. And don't forget to cut the ends of the carrots off as well. So we're going to go ahead and get those diced off. These ones are about all the same length. We're going to cut these two down. And then we're going to see how else we're going to need to cut these. There we go. So basically just half them all. We're going to shoot them with a little bit of avocado oil, and then we're going to put them in the air fryer. Let them get all nice and roasted in there. It's going to be the quickest method to go ahead and do so. And remember, your air fryer is just about as good as your oven, if not faster. When they're about to be done, we're going to then put them on the stove, and I have a little glaze that we're going to make up. So I'll be able to show you how to do that as well. All right, and so for the ingredients for the carrots that we're going to cook them in, we have some brown sugar, we have oregano and salt, and then we have a mixture of balsamic vinegar and olive oil. I'm going to go ahead and mix it up really, really well, and then what we're going to do is once it's all mixed, we're going to put it on the stove to get a really good glaze out of it. So when those carrots come out of that air fryer, because it's not going to take too long, we're going to glaze them right up and let them continue to cook and get all merry in that juices. And you do want to cook it so everything emulsifies together. So it should look like this when you're cooking, or when you're mixing it all together, and then we're just going to transfer it over into our pan. Come on with me. But in our skillet, I do have it on medium heat. It's not supposed to be a lot. We just want to glaze the carrots enough just to give it some extra flavor. We're going to let that get all nice and bubbly. We want that sugar to melt in there, release all of its flavor. And we're going to let that cook and simmer. Something I almost forgot I would like to add is 2 crushed up garlic cloves. It's going to give us some good flavor as well, so it's not overly sweet. As you can see, it's already starting to simmer and get those bubbles. We're going to go ahead and turn it down. I don't want it to burn. I just want good flavor. All right, my carrots just got done, so we're going to go ahead and grab those, and then we're going to get the glaze on them. And they turned out perfectly in the air fryer. We're going to just drop them in our little thing. Whew, that's hot. We're going to go ahead and turn off my glaze. We're going to just throw them right in there. Oh, it turned out really good. That glaze turned out really good, you guys. Let's just get them all in there. We're going to let them just sit in there. And then this is what we're looking with. Doesn't that look delicious? It's got a lot of umami flavor in there as well. The reason it has all that umami flavor in there is because of the caramelization that happened on the stove when the sugars broke down. It's going to be delicious, guys. All right, everybody, as you can see, everything has gotten completed and done. We took it out of the oven. We let the chicken rest. You do not want to cut chicken. As soon as it comes out of the oven, you're going to get all of those delicious juices running out of the chicken, and it can make it dry. So we're going to go ahead and take it out. You see how crispy it is? Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take it out, and we're going to cut it up, and we're going to have it, you know, it's dinner time. Ouch, that's really hot. Be careful. That was for me. Put all those onions back, and we're just gonna slice away. When you break it down, you can always put it right back into the pan when you're done, so you can get all the juices with it. Chef's bite. You guys, it's so succulent and juicy. The flavors is very herbaceous because of everything we seasoned it with. Let's go ahead and cut down into the breast. I mean, come on, look at that. Look at it. Oh, she's a juicy girl. We're gonna head and serve up our plate here. for dinner. I always want some onions with it. And you see how nice and crispy those potatoes came out with all the cheese on them? And we'll get some carrots. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna dive right in. You see that? Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm just cutting it with a fork. It's so juicy on my plate. Yeah, sorry, let's put it down. Try a potato. That crunch, it's phenomenal. Let's get some chicken. It's so juicy and so tender. And then the carrot. Yeah. I love it. It's just a super well balanced meal. It's nice and hearty and it's good for the family. I wanted to thank you so much for coming in for the first episode of Honest Apron, and I can't wait to see you next time. Thank you. Now remember, if you thought I was great, I'd like you to like and subscribe. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.